we have a president who's going against the will of the people and the will of the Supreme Court, continuing to promote an all hands on deck approach to try to promote abortion and death for babies in this country. And it's very, very sad. Some of the provisions here are concerning. He wants to make sure that women have information to where they can access abortion. Well, I have sponsored a bill called the Women's Right to Know Act, which would give women the accurate information about the dangers and concerns of abortion. And why doesn't the president promote information about adoption or more positive outcomes to an unplanned pregnancy? This executive order also is gathering together and calling for free pro bono legal assistance for both the women and abortionists. Well, why doesn't the president promote free legal services for women who have been damaged due to abortion, or people, nurses and doctors who against their conscience are being forced to perform abortions? I mean, the president should be promoting these things. The executive order also requires that they focus on the safety and promoting the safety of abortion clinics and abortionists. Yet he does nothing to stand up and to try to look into the attacks that are occurring right now on pregnancy care centers all across this country.
None of that was mentioned in this executive order. You're right. So this would be if he declares this a public health emergency, that means that it is temporary. What sort of powers, constitutionally speaking, does the president have to try and basically overturn Roe v. Wade via executive order?
Well, he's limited in doing that. And as you just said in your clip there, he wants a federal law that would allow abortions up into the day before birth. And that is what the Nancy Pelosi passed in the House. That is the extreme agenda of these Democrats. And it's not what the American people want. So that's what he is promoting. And it's very, very sad.
And it would go beyond the 24 weeks in states like New York and Massachusetts. Congresswoman, you are in the middle of the countdown to the primary. I think it's on August 2nd. You're running for the Republican nomination for Senate in Missouri. Tight race, Trafalgar, which a lot of people like. Trafalgar has you up by 1 point over Eric Greitens and Eric Schmidt in your state. But the former president put out a message on Truth Social on Friday saying that he will not be endorsing you. He says you can forget about Vicky Hartzler for Senate from the great state of Missouri. He claims that you called him and asked for the endorsement. What do you make of that, and how does that affect this race?
Well, I think the president's been listening to some of my opponents, but you know, the endorsement that really matters is the people of Missouri. And we are getting so much support from all over this state. And that is what ultimately is going to prevail. They know that I'm not just the pro-life champion, but also the person who has been getting things done, has the true conservative record in Washington, fighting for our values. And at the end of the day, I think that's going to prevail, as well as I have a heart for this people, but I'm a fighter. And I have gotten things done. I have the experience and ready on day one to take the helm to stop this train wreck from this president and to turn this country around. And I'm very grateful for where we're at, and I feel good about this race.
Congresswoman, we've got that date circled on our calendars, just about 15 seconds. But there is this this notion that Eric Greitens, the governor who had to resign, he was governor for about 15 months there in Missouri before he was forced to resign, is the America First candidate. Your response to that?
Well, that's a joke. I mean, he's himself first candidate. You know, I am the one that's been working with President Trump, and we got to rebuild the military. I helped pass a law when I went to the border to empower our Border Patrol agents. You know, I was there. We had American energy independence and have stood strong for life, for Israel, to grow our economy. Those are the things that matter to Missourians, and that's what I bring to this race. And
all right.
I think that'll prevail August 2nd.
Congresswoman Vicky Hartzler, good to see you again, as always. Come back and see us before the primary. Thank you.